Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports. Today I want to talk to you about, I want to use the Cannondale Synapse as an example for some other kinds of thoughts about maybe the direction bike industry is going, which I sincerely hope not, but you will have your opinion and you can make a comment down below. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is that, as a disclosure, I don't sell Cannondale bikes here. I'm not sponsored by them. It's not a promotion for them. Although I was sponsored by them back in 2010, 2012. And I rode the Super 6 Evo, which was a fantastic bike. So I do like Cannondale, and I do like some of their bikes. So as this video progresses, please maybe take the Cannondale part of it out and just think about, as a bike industry, are these the things that we want or not want on our next bike? So the Cannondale Synapse was released back in 2006. It's gone through some mods, and now the 2022 version is out. And quite a few channels that I watch to get some information have been doing some reviews on them. And that's what inspired me to give you my thoughts on this. So, first thing that everyone is talking about is that it has integrated a radar and light system. So the radar is from Garmin, the Varia. Some people already know what that is and use it. And the lights are from Lezean, which in my opinion is a great company, makes great products that are, form and function. They look great and they function great. So two reputable brands, and what they've done is they've integrated this into the lights. There's a mount and the wiring goes through the handlebar, and on the rear, the tail light and radar system is running through the seat posts internally, and eventually it comes down to a battery pack. And this battery pack is on the down tube just below where the water bottle would be, or is, and then just below that is that battery pack, and it's removable and all that stuff. And based on what I've seen other people handling it, it appears to be, about that big. So it kind of reminds me of the external Di2 batteries before they went internal, and there was a battery and it was a mount, and it was mounted off of the bottle cage. So I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. So comment down below, what do you think about those aesthetics of having this external battery pack for lights and a radar system? Now, there's another controversial point, my opinion anyway. I don't run the Garmin Varia system. I don't run a radar system. I'm always checking underneath my armpit as I'm riding. If I'm in the drops or if I'm up on the hoods, I always do a shoulder check before I do anything. And I always assume there's a car behind me. I mean, I don't need to know a car's coming because there's always a car coming. And by the way, you're not able to buy this bike without, or you don't have the option to not get the lighting system and the radar system. And sure, it's all fully integrated into the bike. And I guess there's an app and all this other stuff, a Cannondale app for it, but you're not able to buy the bike without the lights and the radar system. So I think they've removed my freedom of choice. I like exposure lights. I think they're the best in the business, and I prefer to use the lights that I want to use. And if I don't want to use a radar system, then I want the choice to not have a radar system. It kind of also reminds me of synchronized shifting on, whether you ride SRAM or Shimano, where you only push one button and it'll shift your front derailleur from little ring to big ring, depending on where you are in the back. And I want to be able to shift the way I want to shift. And, here as a mechanic, when it's time to size a chain, you really size the chain from the chain being in the small chain ring and the smallest cog. Well, you can't do that when synchronized shifting is enabled on someone's Shimano Di2 bike. You can't be in little combination for, like, let's say, a service task. But anyway, so let me check my notes just to make sure I'm covering most things. Yeah, so again, with this, I don't want to call it mandatory, but it's a design feature of the bike to have these radar and lights and stuff. So seat bag mounting is going to be a challenge. Now there's fender mounts and a top tube mount, so I guess you're going to move your stuff around. So instead of being in a seat bag, it's probably going to be on your top tube. I don't know. Everyone rides with these handlebar bags these days. I don't know where you're going to put all your flat repair stuff, because that radar and lights, they're mounted on, like, right by the seat rails. So I don't know where you're going to attach your bag, your seat bag for your flat repair stuff. So I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. There's a couple of things that make a lot of sense, right? So, and it just brings up the expression of the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I'm going to get to those here in a minute. So, this bike now has drop seat stays. So it's more aero. It's an endurance bike. Now this bike looks like all the other bikes with the drop stays, the race bikes, the aero bikes, the endurance bikes, all have these drop stays. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the seat post, the seat tube area where the seat stays come down to the rear dropout, and then you have your horizontal where the chain stays are. That rear triangle, what they've been doing is dropping the seat stays lower and lower, not lower and lower, but just dropping them down. So, but now that bike looks like all the other bikes, but aero is aero, blah, blah, blah. But let's talk about some practicality, because these things are really what I like as a mechanic and as someone who has to consult with a customer when they bring a bike in. So one of the big things is, and this boggles my mind, because so they've gone to a threaded bottom bracket. Now this is Cannondale. If you don't know the history, they're the ones that brought BB30 to the marketplace. They're the ones who eventually allowed it to be licensed out to all the other bike brands to build their bikes around this BB30, so BB as in bottom bracket, 30, to allow a 30 millimeter spindle crank set to be used. And now Cannondale has gone back to a threaded bottom bracket. So that's mind-boggling, but I'm happy for that, because now I don't have to constantly be servicing a bottom bracket for a customer because it has BB30 or PF30 or BB86 or whatever, and it's creaking, and what a nightmare that has been, that whole BB30 setup. That's a video of itself. I'm going to talk probably more about BB30. So maybe they realized their sins on this thing. They've gone to a 27-2 seat post. Now that is the most common seat post, round seat post that is used. So a round seat post, 27-2 millimeter, and they've gone to an external clamp Just a regular clamp, you know, something like this. You break a clamp, no problem. Put another one on. You don't have to worry about the frame being damaged or a wedge that's holding a seat post in place, or some of these other bikes, they hide the seat post binder bolt underneath the frame from the triangle, the main triangle underneath the frame, underneath the top tube. Or like Canyon, they put this bolt on the by the seat, on the back of the seat tube area where the wheel is. On the back of that seat tube, they have the, just stupid. But this particular bike now has a standard clamp and a standard 27.2 seat post. So it's not proprietary. And it drives me crazy when bikes come with these proprietary posts, because again, you've lost freedom of choice to ride a different type of seat post. Maybe something lighter, maybe something more robust, or maybe you're graveling and you want some type of seat post that has a head on the top of it that gives you an extra half a centimeter or centimeter of travel to provide comfort while you're graveling, and you're not able to. Semi-internal cable routing. So they went internal. Every bike seems to do that now, but instead of having everything routed through the handlebar, through the stem, down through the headset bearings, you know, if you have cables, I should say housing of, it's usually the brake lines that are running through at least the top bearing, and they're running through the headset bearings and down into the frame, and then they kind of split up. But if you're just trying to do a headset service, or you're just trying to lube everything and put it all back together, a simple, easy $30 job, you can't do that, because you can't take it apart, because the brake lines are running through the headset bearing. So that's just dumb with all this internally routed cables. They've also added internal tubes, so they say, so that when you're running the derailleur cables and stuff, you can just pull out the cable and then run a new cable through. That would be a wonderful thing, because even just running a derailleur cable through the frame can be a nightmare. Let's see what else. So they also, so they provide now, what they're saying is the through axle that comes with the bike is suitable to go right onto an indoor trainer. And this just seems so logical. But with the way that so many of these manufacturers want to make a sleek design, or they want the dropout area to look very clean, the through axles that are on there, you have to take those out, and you have to buy a trainer specific through axle. And so this company here, I don't get any kickbacks from them, but this Robert Axle project, they are excellent to get so many different variations. I have about 8 through axles here when I do bike fittings, and the new Cannondale is supposed to have a trainer ready through axle. Now, I mean, this could just be a simple thing, right? You could just have, so for example, this right here would go through the frame, and you could have your blank off plate there, still have your nice clean design on both ends, right? Take this one off too. And then whenever you need to, like I did a bike fit for someone on Friday, they were on a Canyon, and the little blank off plate, just take that blank off plate off, screw that into the through axle that's already there, and that's it. You're ready to put the bike in the trainer. So that would be a solution for that. So then tire choice, not tire choice, but tire capacity now. I guess it ships with 30s, but you have up to 35 millimeter tire that you could fit in there. As I mentioned before, you get fender mounts, so you just have to decide what size tire will fit in there. But, you know, I always think that these bigger tires are only just to compensate for how harsh a disc brake bike rides. So they have to allow more tire clearance because the average rider, the average Joe and the average Jane, they don't need to ride a bike that is super stiff, super light, and all that other stuff. Which, of course, this is what they're selling with having, the practicality of having all your lights and your radar system already on the bike. All you have to do is step on the bike. The front wheel has a sensor, and boof, you're off and rolling, and everything's already taken care for you. I don't know. I feel like that is something I should be able to choose. Let's make sure I got everything else. I think I got everything. But really, it's just, this video is more about what is, because Cannondale has led with a lot of different things. And it's a bold move. And I'm wondering, are other bike companies going to pick up on this? Are they going to say, oh, wow, Cannondale was successful selling a bike like that as OE, original equipment. We should probably do something like it. I don't know. I'm really, really happy about threaded bottom brackets, semi-internal cable routing, and the 27-2 seat posts, and the external clamp. I mean, I'm really happy about some things, but other things, not so much. Anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Put a comment down below. Let me know, hey, yeah, no, this is great. I love the, I just have to get on the bike and roll away. I don't have to think about anything. Everything's going to turn on and everything's going to work. Or no, it's not for me. So please leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe if you found this channel or this content informative, educational, and you'd like to see more of this on this channel. Please like and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell. I know there's some issues, but please hit it if you can. And in the meantime, we'll see you up the road.